close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. See the horizon, turn us to thousands, and we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands, and on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays, and on
waves reaching the microphone are changed into impulses of electric current.
No need to worry about your pre-recorded music tapes being accidentally erased. It can't happen.
Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest. Echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
Sound waves reaching the microphone are changed into impulses of electric current.
No need to worry about your pre-recorded music tapes being accidentally erased. It can't happen.
PP Poo Poo's old team, also known as it's Ski Hound's old team, sorry.
Well, it's definitely going to be something interesting to watch then. Both teams seem to have more or less know what they want to ban, what they want to pick. The meta is not quite defined just yet, so it's going to be interesting to see between the teams from here exactly what they choose to ban or pick. Naga Siren and Slark, two very highly contested heroes currently.
Yeah, exactly. These are two rather accomplished teams, all or nothing, on their way to Premier Division. The guys from Team Pepega has also been playing competitive for quite a while, so it's going to be interesting to see how they adapt to this meta and which heroes they don't pick anymore and which heroes they do pick. Because I know All or Nothing used to pick Doom quite a lot, and we'll see if they still do that.
It's going to be, I think like Doom is still quite a good hero, but it seems like he doesn't really have a position to fit in to. So like he doesn't have a definite safe lane, definite off lane anymore. It seems like for everything he wants to play, there is something a bit better.
Yeah, exactly. And do you know why they stopped picking Doom? Did the other heroes just get stronger, or did they nerf Doom?
It was definitely like the buff to heroes like Slark, like Warlock, even after the Fatal Bonds had a slight nerf. Stuff like Omni Knight, stuff like Chen just having that much more. It's insane to consider, just what exactly they is in the pool right now for people to pick. We all know Enigma is still there. Silence is not that strong anymore, so sort of these global heroes are also being picked a lot. Or AoE big spells are being picked a lot as well. So it wouldn't even surprise me to still see something like a Tide Hunter mid. He's a tanky hero to go with. He only needs a few items to scale. It's pretty insane to work with it.
Yes, exactly, and they did ban the Centaur Warrunner again, one of the global heroes, and it is pretty strong, this meta. But as you said, Silencer, they don't pick him that much anymore, but it's still meta. And if we have a look at the bans, it's a Wind Ranger and a Tusk, it's a Warlock, Omni Knight, and Centaur Warrunner. So pretty much carries and supports getting banned so far. That's a first pick Nyx Assassin from All or Nothing. Very good. Pos 4 has a very, very strong level 1 stun. Few heroes in the game have a stun that's so strong on level 1, and that's why people play him as a roaming hero.
Definitely, and the other thing as well is like Nyx Assassin is what I spoke about like in last night's costs as well. Is they
Next
have
pick
to start
is for Team Pepega. They are probably going to try to get something that's won't die against the Nyx Assassins mid ganks, or at least can counteract that. Slardar, so that's also a pos 4 pick from Team Pepega. Both pos 4s going through at the start. Slardar is a good pos 4 or pos 3, but he needs itemization. Unlike Nyx Assassin, he needs his Blink Dagger to come online, but if he has that, then he's really strong.
Yeah, it seems like it's a hero that does quite often go for the offlane pick, but we have seen him in a position for roamer, especially because of the movement speed he gets in the river. He can move to the mid lane quite easily. So if you have something like an Invoker or an OD that's not doing too well in the beginning of the lane, then he can get in position quite early and sort of just help push the lane back, maybe even get a pick off. He does have the stuns as well. He has stuns that stack a lot. So Slardar, a very good pickup for them. And Chen being the second pick, they really like focusing on controlling their team fights from the get-go, or either with a retaliation like with Chen and Slardar. Both of them very good in team fight initiations as well as counter initiation.
Okay, I muted my mic quickly. Someone says they can't hear you. I don't know if you know about the... Yeah. You can maybe try sort that out quick, and I will just...
Like they can't hear me in their stream?
In the game. I think your stream is fine.
Oh, okay. Let me change it quick.
Okay, I'll quickly take over until you're ready.
All right, test 1, 2.
A little bit of technical difficulties. That is a Darkseer pick from All or Nothing. That's not a hero I've seen all that often lately. It's going to be interesting to see how they play it. It's most likely an offlane Darkseer.
Yeah, definitely. Like the Darkseer goes well, especially with the Nyx Assassin as well. So both of them going to be able to draw out a lot of damage onto the core, as well as be able to do a lot of damage on any of the supports, because Nyx Assassin walking closer to them with an Ion Shell on him is pretty annoying if you're playing against like squishy supports, and Chen is not the most tanky support.
Yeah, that's going to be quite a scary offlane from All or Nothing. The Darkseer and the Nyx Assassin, not something you want to be against if you're Team Pepega. What do you exactly do to counter Darkseer? Just get a good ranged heroes, or what do you think?
Like you have to, like Luna is probably the best option right now, but if you're still going with something like the Naga Siren or even the Juggernaut, you need to have that Quelling Blade to do the extra damage on them. But even then, it seems like you're still at a bit of a disadvantage, because the damage is still being done to the wave, and the wave is being pushed out. So you need something that can counter it, which is why the Juggernaut is one of the best for it, because you can build up the Quelling Blade to take out the Ion Shell quite easily. And if they're not banning out the Oracle can also debuff take off the Ion Shell with just spamming a quick Q, double click on the Q, and then you should be fine. So he also again, Juggernaut has the blades, has the spin, so as soon as it's off, you can just spin, sort of recuperate the lane, especially under the tower, and you should be okay going forward.
Yeah, so basically what you want to do is you want to get a hero that's going to get a Quilling Blade either way. But that's a bit of a catch-22 because melee heroes in general are bad against Darkseer. But only melee heroes really know how to utilize a Quilling Blade. So it's a little weird. I think the Lifestealer or a Juggernaut's pretty good.
Both of them, yes. But you could still argue about Drow Ranger being good. It's just they did nerf her a little bit, but it was more of a balance than it was the nerf, because as soon as Drow Ranger got to like level 4 or 5 or even level 6, she would just go and farm the triangle on both sides and start farming out all the items that she needs in order to push waves, and just there's nothing that could keep up with her except for maybe the Medusa. But like the way that Drow Ranger farmed it so quickly was incomparable with most heroes. So definitely still an argument for Drow Ranger. They did ban out the Monkey King. They did ban out the Ursa. So, you know, it could mean that they do actually want to go for this Drow Ranger. Also banning out...
Yeah, the Drow Ranger is pretty good. It's still good, and I agree it was more of a balance than a nerf. It's still a very viable pick, because Drow Ranger was pretty insane. You didn't even have to win the lane or do WoW at all, because you'll still just go ham as soon as it's level 6.
And they actually pick up Rubik for their second hero. So this is going to be... It could still migrate to a tri-lane, but you're going up against the Nyx Assassin. Rubik is definitely not the hero you really want to pick up. And All or Nothing haven't revealed a lot about what they want. So now the Winter Wyvern being picked up, they're not giving a lot of spells to the Rubik. You could argue that Iron Shell is good. You could argue that Surge is good. Winter Wyvern's ult probably just needs to land onto the Rubik and then it's secured. It's like Rubik's not stealing anything after that. So Rubik was probably not the best pick for Team Pepega in this specific lineup. Like, if two of the heroes were already revealed and you're not going like, okay, we have two very good spells, very good team fight spells that we can utilize and turn around or sort of capitalize on when they're falling back or giving us an advantage in the lane this early as well, or if you're roaming to get the pick off, your Rubik is generally not the hero you want to pick up. So I'm not too sure.
I'm also not sure about that decision. I don't know why they would do that, because usually you'd think, oh, there's a Pudge or a Marana Arrow, or a Black Hole, and nothing here really screams Rubik to me. Maybe it's something I'm not seeing, but yeah, it's interesting to see the Rubik pick, not something I expected.
I think this is going to be the pick for them that changes our minds, but
Gyrocopter?
Not for me. Definitely not for me. It does do well against... Okay, wait. It does do well against the Darkseer, but they have the Nyx Assassin and they have Winter Wyvern, and Gyrocopter needs a lot of farm. He's pretty squishy in the lane early. That's why you kind of lane him together with an IO. Is this... it could be... Could they argue that Slardar still goes mid and or Rubik goes mid and they pick up the IO? I highly doubt that. Like, they're not gonna waste a ban even on the IO.
Yeah, my guess at the moment is it's a pos 4 Rubik, a pos 5 Shen, a off-lane Slardar, and a safe lane Gyrocopter. So I think the Gyrocopter is at least good in lane, and that's the main thing you want to do against Darkseer. It's just such a good lane, and there's not a lot of heroes you can pick that have a chance against them, and at least they did that right. And they probably didn't want to go another melee hero, which is why they decided on the Gyrocopter. AON is taking some time to pick now. 1 minute, 10 seconds into the reserve time, and maybe the Gyrocopter pick is something they wanted to pick. Okay, fourth pick is a Lina. Okay, so the Lina is probably mid.
This is what All or Nothing needed to like round out their draft a bit, because Winter Wyvern works really well if you have a second follow-up, as well as she is the one that will be able to set up kills quite early, probably going for the Yule's Scepter Shadow Blade. So being able to set up kills, the team follows up, and then the Winter Wyvern follows up after that. You have the Nyx to pick off, or maybe even move in the back line to say, this is where the guys are grouping up, or get a pick off himself on a support. And then after that, Lina comes in, Winter Wyvern. So a very good like pick off sort of team fighting starting pickup for All or Nothing. And Team Pepega just have sort of a more grouped up fighting sort of style what they want to do now with their draft. So you have Slardar, you have Chen, you have Rubik, you have Gyrocopter. They need to position themselves perfectly in order to get good team fights off. And they could do that, but All or Nothing have that Nyx Assassin.
Yeah, Team Pepega definitely are going for the team fight strat, and All or Nothing's also not being secretive about what they want to do. They want to dominate the early game. Nyx Assassin, Darkseer, Lina, all of these are early game heroes. One leak in their draft though is at the moment they only have magical damage, so if Team Pepega gets something good against that and itemize well, that might be something that All or Nothing lacks, so they'll have to get a very strong physical damage hero now.
They do have the natural Guardian Greaves builder from Chen, and they could opt to go for a Pipe of Insight on the Slardar, because naturally, I'm assuming Slardar is offlane here. So if Slardar skips on the Crimson Guard, goes for the Pipe of Insight, and Rubik goes for the Chen goes for the Guardian's Greaves, it's definitely doable for them. But this does mean that the Chen and the Rubik have to rotate a lot earlier and have to rotate a lot more frequently than they probably would want to, because Chen still needs... I mean, Guardian's Greaves is still a very expensive item, but even just something like having the hood with the mechanism and the boots, and you know, it's arguable that you could still do fine with just those two, but you need to be able to have that burst of healing and the burst of mana regen for your team, especially if you're playing with something like Gyrocopter. Gyrocopter will probably have to build the BKB, maybe even... I mean, you could opt to just go Lincoln Sphere as Gyrocopter, but there's a lot of things that just take it off now as well. Like Splinter Blast could be used on Gyrocopter just to break the Lincoln Sphere, so probably opting to go for a BKB early, which is... It's not great, but the Gyrocopter does, you know, naturally survive with it, especially with the cannons he has, the great ult that he throws down. So, yeah, definitely seems like Team Pepega will be leading All or Nothing into a team fight, and then they will follow up with the Gyrocopter. But again, it seems like All or Nothing already have that sorted as well, where they're like, we want to actually start a fight. We want to go into a fight with the Nyx Assassin. And the Ember Spirit's being picked up last. There's also not a lot of tankiness from All or Nothing, and it seems like just a simple... if they had the Wraith King on Gyrocopter, instead of Gyrocopter, this would have been done already.
Do you think, considering the physical damage thing, might be a physical damage Ember Spirit? I highly doubt it, but it's possible.
I mean, that's what Ember Spirit does these days, isn't it? You don't see him go for the normal crit damage with the Battle Fury. He goes for the normal Mjolnir, goes for even a Yasha early game, phase boots, building into a bit of that damage. So still, they don't have a lot of durability with him. He has natural escape, so we could still see something as simple as a Storm Spirit for Team Pepega, but the Death Prophet will most likely be better for them, and it is going to be less.
Right? Yeah, I think that's a good pick.
Yeah, I was about to say, anything they have that pushes towers now gives them the advantage, a slight advantage in the laning phase, because Ember Spirit does not do too well against those. Odie would have been good, and again, in Gyrocopter, it could have been, probably could have been a Wraith King, but Team Pepega have a good, well-rounded draft. They have a good sort of initiation setup. They have a plan. They definitely have a plan with what they want to do, and All or Nothing have this sort of pick-off, just a bunch of pick-off with their heroes. It's not a lot of major team fight that they have there, but Winter Wyvern is a good counter initiator. They have Ember Spirit that can come in late. It's just, I think both teams definitely have an interesting draft. We'll have to see what they do after the laning phase, as soon as the team fights and stuff start.
Team Pepega are extremely reliable on timing at the moment. They need that Blink Dagger, they need the magical damage, but as soon as they get that timing, as soon as they hit it, they are going to be unstoppable. All or Nothing, their plan is to not let Team Pepega hit that timing and just stomp them from the early game. As you can see, they're already going for a Smoke of the Seed. It's probably gonna be an aggressive play here from All or Nothing.
Yeah, they definitely want to see if they can get an early pick-off. They do have, again, as we mentioned, those pick-off heroes. So,
yeah, the 1.6 second duration, level 1 stun, extremely strong on Nyx Assassin. If they get that off, it might be a kill onto the Shen. It seems like Team Pepega is not expecting this at the moment, and yeah, we'll see how this turns out.
Nyx Assassin did pick up the Impale already, and there is the follow-up. Like, if there's a Light Strike already being picked up by Remedy, It could be good, but after that, Winter Wyvern will opt to go for the Arctic Burn. You already have the Aeon Shell here on the docks here, so if they can get one stun off, but the Gyrocopter's going to see them move in, and they do ping it out.
That's a very good play there from Gyrocopter, expecting something is fishy and not being too aggressive against the rune there. And Slaughter top should get the enemy rune, should get All or Nothing's rune.
Yeah, this does mean he will have to go for the Slithering Crush, and Ember Spirit could just slide a fist into getting it. It seems like it's going to be a carry Ember Spirit. Naturally, as we said, he does pick up the Sleight of Fist, so gonna have to crush that too.
Go for a play. I think he is gonna go for a play. Okay, it gets lifted first, but he did go for it, and I can respect that. So that's gonna be 2 runes to both teams, and if you look at Keo, he doesn't quite have enough for his Quelling Blade yet, but he's almost there, and that's how you play safe laners. Never buy a Quelling Blade at base.
He has queued it up now for himself. Again, as we mentioned, if you're going up against the Darkseer, it is going to be good. But he does have that Flame Guard as well, which makes him pretty good against the Rubik and the Slaughter. So
yeah, exactly, and you can already see that Winter Wyvern harassment coming through. Extremely strong level 1 spell there from Winter Wyvern. Another good harassment hero. Bottom lane, it seems pretty even at the moment, and All or Nothing would be happy with how it's going.
Definitely, but again, you're going Gyrocopter, he is ranged against that Ion Shell. Nick's having to use the Impale. It seems like even though they are a bit safe with the 2 range heroes, they do take a lot of damage, but this is only still because of that level 1 armor that we talked about Gyrocopter, which he's not the tankiest heroes level 1. He does need a few items before he starts doing a lot of damage, before he gets tanky in the lanes, and that's going to make the difference for them a bit forward. He just has to survive right now.
Yeah, exactly, and you can see at least Gyrocopter is getting some harassment in onto the Darkseer. Not a lot of heroes that can do that. Darkseer dropped to about half HP there, and it's going to be a pretty balanced lane, but All or Nothing will take everything they can, since it is not a lane they are supposed to win, technically. Well, I mean, bottom lane, he is aggressive onto the Gyrocopter here. Darkseer also aggressive. They might tower dive a little bit, they decide not to.
They're just trying to burst down this Gyrocopter, right? Because if he gets the Flak Cannon up after that, it's going to be annoying. But secondly, Darkseer is going to get the Surge up. And thirdly, Nyx Assassin will get the Spike Carapace up. So now, as soon as Gyrocopter runs away and activates the Rocket Barrage, he's going to get stunned up. So he can't do that anymore. He needs to just simply walk away after being impaled.
Yeah, exactly. They just want to drain that Gyrocopter, because Gyrocopter isn't going to have any mana regeneration items. So the sooner you can get that mana away, the better. Top lane, Keo is being aggressive onto the Slaughter. Slaughter dropping pretty low. Keo running away for now. It seems like he still wants to go on the Slaughter for now. Maybe just a little bit of harassment. Actually, that's in the favor of Team Pepega there, as Keo drops lower than...
And he is using his healing salve now to get right back
and the
up.
salve got cancelled a little bit into the salve.
Yeah. So down in the mid lane, though, we have a 9-4 for Last Hits and Denies, 10-4 now for the Lina versus the Leshrac 7-1. Definitely not going in the favor of Leshrac. He does need to actually push the wave a bit
Top
more.
lane, Mac dropping pretty low. Winter Wyvern almost dead. He does manage to juke out though. Keo being aggressive onto the Slaughter. It seems like they want to get the skill. Slaughter does get the Slithering Crush off, and that's a first blood for Sad Socks there. Sad Socks pretty low. He does get the go off. Rubik also pretty low. Doesn't have mana, doesn't have spell.
The Arctic Burn is coming in now, and Ember Spirit.
Yeah, Arctic Burn, and that should be a kill onto the Rubik as well there. Dropping pretty low. One more hit should do it, and he does get the double kill there onto the Winter Wyvern. Slaughter wants to get a return kill here, a block from Keo, and that's very good for All or Nothing. Unfortunately, they don't have regeneration now, but still 2 kills onto the Winter Wyvern so early into the game.
Definitely. They did get both pickoffs. The Slithering Crush was used, and he got a stun on the Winter Wyvern, but still didn't get the kill. That Cold Embrace just saving him, and Mac will probably get a bit of free farm down this bottom lane. It's a very heavy farm, heavy lane pushing, and 4 range creeps for him, so definitely not going to mind too much, as Ember Spirit can just stand back, and he's going to have to look for farm elsewhere.
Yeah, exactly. At the moment, they did get the 2 kills, but one could argue that it might not even be worth it, as Keo does lose a little bit of space with having to go back and regenerate, and he doesn't have any mana now, and he has to wait for his support to come back.
He's right back in the lane. I mean, the Rubik's also not going to be back for a while because he still has to walk. Doxy is actually just jumping, creep-hopping this lane. Going to pull that wave.
Oh yeah, that's interesting.
Next Assassin moving on to mid. They want to get this Leshrac.
Middle lane, yeah, they want
Going to have to go for this Light Strike array, but Lina moves in too fast. Okay, there's still the setup. If he moves forward, he's probably just dead to an Impale. Butterfly seeing this happening, probably no, he's moving back now.
Next Assassin trying to get the stun. Butterfly being very smart in dodging it. And both stuns do miss. At least Nyx Assassin will escape for now. Ski Hound couldn't get a stun off. Very well played there from Butterfly, actually being able to predict what Ski Hound is going to do there.
Yeah, he did really good movement in order to dodge that Light Strike array and also the Impale. So both of the abilities take quite a few like a split second to charge up, and that's
Doxia being a little bit of a nuisance here. It seems like they do want to go on him. There is a slow onto the Doxia. Is it going to be enough? Rubik's also close. He almost has the stun. 5 seconds for the stun, but that is a haste from Doxia, a surge from Doxia. Ski Hound also joining the fray. He actually gets cliffed. Yeah, he's going to have to use his teleportation scroll, and he's also underneath a ward now.
Light Strike array does come out, and here. Now Remedy is...
And that's a stun.
Yeah, she's dropping very low. One more attack should do it.
Okay, so very weird sequence of events there, but that's going to be a double kill for Remedy as he does rotate, and that's going to be good for AON. It started pretty weird, but they did manage to turn that into their favor.
It comes down to the movement that they did there from both teams, right? So after the Darkseer was too aggressive, then the Chen got too aggressive, and it just seemed like as soon as the aggressor was out of position, it was a very good follow-up from Pepega as well as All or Nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone rotating in there, everyone having their 2 cents in what happened there, and it did manage to go to All or Nothing's favor there. Middle lane, Remedy is still winning by quite a bit. 10 lost hits in front of Leshrac. Top lane, bash onto Kyo. Kyo doesn't have a lot of mana left, he has to be careful, but they actually try to go onto the slaughter. This is probably just for harassment, they won't get the kill most likely.
He does with the slider first. If he had the Searing Chains, he could have popped the Enchanted Mango and do the Searing Chains, but then the Fate Bolt and the Lift came out from the Rubik, and it was just that split second that they needed in order to secure the kill, but he couldn't get it off because Rubik was there. So definitely a lot of good harassment for going up onto the Slardar, but it's going to come down to who has level 6 first, and Slardar is still keeping up with the Ember Spirit, so it's okay, but Ember's like Slardar does a lot better mid game than Ember does.
Yeah, exactly, and that was actually quite closer than I would be. They still don't get the kill though. Ski Hound being aggressive mid, he doesn't want to leave Butterfly alone. It seems like he does have the level 2 stun now, and they manage to go past each other without seeing one another. Doxia still being extremely irritating in the bottom lane, and it seems like Pepega wants to stop him. That's a stun from Butterfly onto Doxia. Doxia does have the surge, so he's just going to run out the slow, not doing anything against him, and Butterfly forced to rotate. Very good for AON.
Down up top lane though, Kyo dropping low. Mac does get the stun off. Kyo will pop the Flame Guard, move back. There's going to be the Splinter Blast as well from Mac, but it's not going to be enough. And now the 2 supports are contesting farm. You can't use the penitence on Doxia.
Yeah, get the slide. So the stun off onto Mac there. Mac dropping pretty low. One more hit and that should be it. That is a kill from Kia with the Flame Guard.
Going to be a good kill for him as well. That
Remedy also in the top lane. There should be another kill.
Remedy just picking that up as well for himself. Very good. Doesn't even have to use that Laguna Blade ultimate to do the burst damage. So they could actually just move mid and kill the Leshrac now. If you're Kyo or if you're just like Sad Socks and Remedy, you just go mid. But Remedy wants to do this alone, but the ward is there.
Yeah, the ward will make sure that Leshrac...
Now down bottom though, Dashi is running for his life. There is the Ion Shell that is going to be used onto the Rubik. Doxia, he's still following up. There's going to be the call down from the Gyrocopter. They are going to be able to get the kill onto one. Now dropping very low is going to be Ski Hound, and he goes down as well. Not one of them actually...
Insanely low HP on the Shen there.
Yeah, Dashi was actually the one that...
Being aggressed on, he does have the low armor.
He does have the Flame Guard on himself. He does have a Corrosive Haze being used on him, but they're pushing the tower, so just moving back, and the Cold Embrace should be able to heal him up as much as needed.
Mac doesn't seem like he wants this to happen. He's gonna aggress a little bit onto Sad Socks, but Sad Socks is wise to what Mac is trying to do there.
Like, Mac was a bit... If that Searing Chains landed on him after the Sleight of Fist, it would have been devastating. And he's gonna get killed.
The Winter Wyvern, quite a lot of damage with that level 4 bash, and yeah, Mac not letting AON do everything they want to do there.
Yeah, it's definitely annoying when you're playing against a bash, level 4 bash already, so definitely very good on Mac in order to get the kill, but again, you should probably back off a bit if you're going up against this, Ember Spirit. He is going to build up the Drums of Endurance next, so Ruins is going to be up for both teams. Leshrac, they do have the Lifelike Array, it hits, and there is going to be the Winter's Curse going to be used as well. It is, however, onto the Leshrac only, and the Nyx is going to get the stun off, and now they should be able to get the kill onto E, but Mac is there. He does get the Slithering Crush off, is looking to get the bash onto their Remedy, but the Cold Embrace is there to help him. Splinter Blast going to be able to do a lot of damage. Lifelike Array should be able to keep him alive a little more. The Laguna Blade is also there. Mac is moving back now. He's dropping very low. They still need to do a lot more damage. He is going to take out the tower, however, but Chen is moving up on him. They're looking to get the kill now onto Sad Socks. Gyrocopter moving in as well. Rocket Barrage is there. There's the Fate Bolt going to be used by the Rubik as well. And that's going to be a kill for Junaid. 3 heroes for 0, and you only got a tower. I highly doubt that that's worth it for AON.
Yeah, they do say that the mid tower is the breakfast of Dota 2. It's the most important tower of the day. And I don't know if it's that important, but some might argue that it is. Top lane, Kia being very aggressive. He does have the catapult. He wants to get this tower, but he does see that Mac is rotating in thanks to that extremely strong wall that is going to be dewarded now.
But too late, but you still know that the ward is there with him moving back. So Keo definitely securing a bit of farm for himself. After he gets the Drums of Endurance, we'll probably see him go for that Mjolnir because he needs to start getting contributing a lot more in terms of the pickoffs with Gyrocopter and the Chen. But Chen arguably is going to be the difference maker. The Divine Favor change for him, not giving the whole team that damage boost is different for Chen, but it's, you know, if you could still micromanage a lot of CC heroes or CC creeps, it makes a difference, right? Because if you could get the extra stun off, or even the auras are still very good for their team.
Yeah, exactly. They need the auras, and bottom lane, it seems like AON is just going to get this tower without any session. Pega, they need to get a kill somewhere on the map or try and balance out the fact that All or Nothing just took that tower for free.
It seems like they prioritizing itemization now because the Chen is going in for his own mana boots up top now. The Flame Guard's going to be used.
A little bit out of position. He does have his ultimate though.
Flame Guard was stolen.
Yeah, that's true. That's quite a good.
So as we mentioned, like Chen has to go for the Guardian's Greaves, but it seems like he's going for he's not necessarily going for the mechanism next, opting to go for the Glimmer Cape actually.
Yeah, I think maybe that's just my inner noob speaking, but I think whenever you get a Glimmer Cape and you don't have another inverse hero, really good, because then they have to buy Dust or Detection just for, you know, the one.
I mean, it's a natural quick escape for any support. However, let's hold on a second. Mid lane, Lina is going to eat a rocket. She does try for the Light Strike Array, not going to be able to go down. However, the lift is going to be there. The Fate Bolt as well from the Rubik. Rubik is actually invis, so Impale going to go out onto Mac. Mac dropping very low with that. Just the Dragon Slave, but no kills for either team.
I personally think getting the Glimmer Cape is really strong this game.
There's a double damage on the Leshrac as well. Yeah, like Glimmer Cape for both teams is quite good. Well, not necessarily for the Dire side.
Bottom jungle. Rubik's getting all this information. He does have Vendetta active, so it's not going to go on them, but at least he knows all of All or Nothing or bot right now.
So they're just pushing the tower because they have the advantage there right now, and there's a tier 1 tower for the Dire up. So if they trade a tier 1 for a tier 2, they're perfectly happy for it, and it seems like Pepega are just opting to do that. They don't want any other negotiations because that's all they really can do right now. Still farming a bit in the jungle. It seems like they do need to like rotate at least one more hero up top to contest this.
Yeah, and I think all or nothing's pushing this tower because the main thing they want to do is get fights, and if they don't get fights, they get towers because they know they are stronger at the moment, and they know that Team Pepega are still waiting for the towers. And Keo even still defending the top tower. They don't want to lose anything here. Keo does get the slide of fist off. It is gonna get lifted, but not much after that. That's just dodge there from Keo. Very low HP on the Rubik. He does have the Vendetta to escape. He barely makes it. He has 30 HP left. They do get the kill onto the Shen though. Keo surged up. They want to go for more, but Slaughter and Gyrocopter a little bit too far away. But very well played there from AON. They get the tier 2 tower and they don't lose their own tier 1. Somehow they manage to get everything. Extremely greedy, but it works. Gyrocopter trying his best to get farm wherever he can at the moment. He does have 95 last hits, so he is doing quite a decent job. And if you have a look at the net worth, Lina is leading, but is closely followed by the Gyrocopter. And like we said, they really need to hit their timings to this game, Team Pepega, and All or Nothing need to be aware of when Team Pepega does hit the timings, because that's going to be an extremely strong shift in power. All or Nothing being aggressive in the middle lane, Team Pepega has to defend this. They can't lose another tier 2 tower, and it seems like they are planning on defending this. Keo dropping pretty low. They are baiting with Keo. That's a Winter's Curse onto the Gyrocopter. A stun as well. That's so much damage. 2 heroes grouped up there, and Gyrocopter does fall. Rubik also dropped pretty low. They aren't going to be able to dive there, but that's 2 extremely good kills. 2 cores there for All or Nothing, and now they just want to get the tower next.
And moving on to the tier 2 tower means that they're just pushing their advantage. It's not something we see a lot of teams do, which annoys me like a little bit more. Like when you have the advantage, a lot of teams just opt to go for like pushing other objectives of farming right back at your end of the jungle, but not All or Nothing. They definitely just want to push the advantage they have. So they have a lot of burst damage from the Pega now, though.
As soon as they lead, even with 1k, then they just use that lead to just win even further and further and further. And this is how they play. They hit their timing, and then it's usually a very early game timing, and then they just try to stomp the other team and see if the other team has any answers for it.
It does seem like the Darkseer is actually going for the Guardian's Greaves, where we did mention... Okay, it's fine on him as well, though, but... Will they go for the Crimson Guard on Nyx Assassin? Who's building the defensive items if he's just building the Guardian's Greaves? Who's building the armor items? Winter Wyvern's going for his own Aether Lens, so...
I don't know, maybe they aren't going for it. And I think they went for the Guardian Greaves on Darkseer because it's a hero that's able to quickly, and the quicker you can get it, the better. Top lane Keo maybe a little bit out of position, but he does have his ultimate and does manage to escape. If he stayed there a little bit longer, more stuns would have went through and he would have died there.
That's the advantage of the Ember Spirit, right? But they do have Janaid. It's going to be caught up. The Rocket Barrage, they do have that Impale coming up, and the Laguna Blade is going to be enough to actually get the kill. And that is going to be the Gyrocopter down for 40 seconds. Now they'll just be pushing the next objective. The stun is there. It's going to be a very good Spike Carapace there from Ski Hound. He's just timing these things perfectly with the Rocket Barrage, and then after that the Lightning Bolt.
Yeah, exactly. Skian having an extremely good game there. That Spike Carapace almost actually getting a kill onto the Leshrac as well. You need to be very careful when you try and damage a Nyx Assassin. Make sure you're not in the position where you want to get stunned. Remedy, he is under a ward at the moment, but you can see that AON are planning on playing extremely aggressively here. And unfortunately, they don't manage to de-ward that ward, but still, the intentions are clear what they want to do.
Yeah, they're just waiting for a Force Staff now. There's no Force Staff. How's he gonna? Is he not gonna just TP down? He's probably just gonna fly one in. No, the courier has the Mjolnir. Alright, he's just hanging around, playing the ward. Gonna have to use the Arctic Burn actually to get down. So not too bad. They do get the D-ward on a sentry. But
That's his run onto the left track, but he does manage to escape.
they're not going to catch him out. They're way too far. Like,
Yeah.
they only have like 1 hero that probably builds Blink, and that's the Winter Wyvern. So I'm not going to be able to catch him out too soon. They do have Search, however. They could just search up Alina and get him. But
Yeah, they have some natural catching, but nothing with the itemization. They have the Ember Spirit and of course the Surge as well, but they don't have any Blink Daggers. Do they even have a 4-star on the team? No, not quite. So they're completely relying on the spells here to catch enemy heroes.
they're gonna, like, a problem with the Gyrocopter is, you know, they just caught him out when he was farming to get, like, with the Vendetta and the Spike Carapace being used, and then he just goes back and farms there. It could have been devastating for him if the Nyx was there scouting him out earlier, though.
Yeah, exactly. Taking a risk, maybe thinking he does need to take risks in order to win this game at the moment. 6k deficit in 20 minutes. And yeah, the Nyx Assassin basically can almost solo kill him at the moment. +1, definitely it's a kill.
Yeah, if you have the Laguna Blade, the damage from the Vendetta, that's why he's opting to go for the BKB right now. So he does know that he needs it in order to survive that kind of burst damage. And as soon as the team fight starts, he can just pop it. So they do scout out the Chen. He is being de-warded. The Heal Scepter will go out. Light Strike Array. The stun is going to be there. Flame Guard going to do a lot of damage, and that's going to be a dead Chen. They do know that the de-ward is there.
Very well played there from AON, and they do know the de-ward is there, but it's not going to be a problem for them. Kia wants to be even more aggressive. He does spot Butterfly. He does have the stun as well. That's a very good chain onto Butterfly. The Butterfly dropping very low. That's 4 euros on him, and that's of course going to be a kill. Let's see what AON is going to try and do with the kills they just got. Kia barely not stopping the TP there from Shen.
Just not latching onto the Searing Chains. Had he seen him probably a split second earlier, would have stuck. But the Darkseer is pushing in this bottom lane, and the Gyrocopter and the Slaughter has to start moving back. The Gyrocopter is going to farm off the Dire side before he does, but they're pushing down mid as well. It's definitely not looking good. You can't be a Gyrocopter farming the enemy jungle when they're pushing a tier 3 tower. Two tier 3
exactly.
towers,
Not
actually.
what you want if you are Team Pepega at the moment, and that's going to be a steal onto the Sleight of Fist there from Rubik. Not exactly a spell you'd want on a Rubik, and that goes back to there's not a lot of really good spells you can steal, except maybe from the Lina.
If he could get the Laguna Blade and the Winter's Curse would be like the definite one that he wants, because he could Winter's Curse right back onto the Winter Wyvern. But you're still not doing a lot. If he could get a Winter's Curse onto an Ember Spirit that doesn't have the Flame Guard on, it's a whole different story, because then you should be able to get a very good kill onto the Ember Spirit, but you don't have the Splinter Blast to follow up. You only have a Fade Bolt, and it's not doing as much damage.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, getting the Winter's Curse would be huge for Rubik, and it isn't the most difficult spell to steal, because it doesn't have very long range. Winter Wyvern does have the Ether Lens though, and I mean, you would be aware that Rubik is going to try and steal the Winter's Curse, so he'll most likely cast the spell directly afterwards, but that's just part of what makes Rubik difficult.
Yeah, I think you could just go for, like, if you go into a Maelstrom now, Rubik would be fine with Sleight of Fist, but you're not doing that anytime soon. So you're not farming with him. They are contesting Roshan now for AON. Just they don't even care.
Pepega, I think Team Pepega even knows about this. There is a ward there, they just don't want to.
They just can't contest it, you know?
Yeah.
You have the Vendetta that's set up there. You can't fight into the Winter's Curse in a small area like that. So you're just going to give it. Kia will probably take it. It is going to be the Lina that takes it. So, but they will know that the smoke
directly afterwards. But Kia was outside of the Roche pit, so they are aware of the smoke of the. So if Team Pepega plays this correctly, they will try and get back. Rubik almost out of position here. He's getting caught up.
He's going to be caught up. The Heal Scepter's going to come out. The Light Strike Array going to do a lot of damage. Not even having to use that Light Strike Array. The Laguna
that's a
Blade.
very easy kill there from Lina. A little bit of a miscalculation from Rubik. Not exactly understanding how fast they'll get there. And Gyrocopter also not expecting them to be bottom lane and trying to juke out, but it's not going to be enough as the Winter's Curse does go off onto him.
Will pop the BKB. He has to run now, mate. Mac is there in the middle of them. He could get a good slithering crush shot, but it's already used. Now taking a whole lot of damage. The cooldown's going to be used. They are going to be able to give him a bit more life, but the vacuum is going to be there. Now the wall, a big wall, lands onto 2. A light strike array lands onto the only 2 alive, and that's going to be a full team wipe going in the favor of all or nothing.
Yeah, that was insane. If you saw that, you would think AON is the team fight team this game, but yeah, that was insane. The vacuum and the Winter's Curse and everything just going perfectly. Symphony of skills there.
Definitely having very good combos, synergies between both teams, and it got them. It's sort of like the draft that they had with the, as we mentioned, like pick off for pick off, and it's almost like Papega were playing directly into that because they were giving them a 1-by-1 fight. It wasn't even a matter of the gyrocopter, everyone standing in position, gyrocopter standing a bit behind, then forcing a fight and having the gyrocopter come in. Because if they execute it like that, it's probably going to work for them. But they're not positioning correctly. They're not picking the fight correctly, and it's sort of giving all of the pick off potential for the side of All or Nothing, and that's exactly what their lineup wants. They have full pick off potential with their heroes.
Bottom lane, there's Slaughter trying to catch the Lina. Lina maybe a little bit out of position. Lina does manage to use his heal scepter, and Slaughter now dropping pretty low. That's the Laguna Blade onto Shane as well, and that's another huge vacuum there. Dogs here, that's 4 kills for the side of AON Dogs here. Very noble cause there. He does die, but that's 4 kills for All or Nothing.
4 kills again. I mean, the side of Papega just got back from a very gruesome team fight, and now you just pick them off again. All you sacrifice is your Dogs here. That is going to be the good game called. This is game number 1. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to bring you guys game number 2 shortly, so stick around. All or Nothing, game number 1. Congratulations.
Yeah, well played, AON. They just took control of the game after the laning stage, as they quite often do. And yeah, I'm gonna do a university task now, so I'll join you the next one.
Dire team's turn to pick.
Alright.
Radiant team's turn to pick.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game number 2 of the AON League. This is All or Nothing versus Team Papega, All or Nothing. Showing a bit of dominance there with an all-pick-off sort of lineup for them in game number 1. Changing it up a bit here in game number 2. Going for the Treant Protector and the Luna. Very good safe lane combo for them there. The Warlock, the Slardar, and the Omni Knight being banned out. Slardar specifically banned out. He did do well against them in game 1, but I think it's more for the comp that they're playing with now, especially with the Treant Protector going to be there. They don't want to play against it. Wouldn't be too surprised if Team Papega still pick up something like a Bounty Hunter, but Bounty Hunter doesn't do too good against the Luna. It's probably just going to be the Tusk on the position 4 roam support for them. So, and the Pongalia going to be picked up. So that should be the off lane side for Team Papega. However, Tuskar can still go into that safe lane. It could still be a mid Pongalia as well, but for Papega, it seems like that's the draft. They'll go in the bottom lane. The Nyx Assassin, the Wind Ranger, and the Centaur Warrunner being banned out. Team Papega definitely don't want to play against the Centaur Warrunner. The return damage on him is pretty insane, and also his ult after getting that. I mean, you don't really need the Aghanim Scepter, but having that extra slow is pretty cool. So for All or Nothing, it seemed like the first draft was a lot pick-off orientated, a lot of high damage orientated, and they had a bit of squishy heroes, which is why I also thought that the Slardar would be doing a lot better against them, and he absolutely did. As soon as he joined the team fights, Team All or Nothing had to sort of scatter away and or focus a lot on him. They did have a lot of carry control on him as well. Maybe he should have gone with the BKB as well earlier, but yeah, you know, he did do well for them. Slark going to be banned out for Papega. Slark and Naga Siren are probably the most contested heroes now. Lifestealer is up there because most of the other heroes that counter him are not doing too good in this meta. Or they would, but you wouldn't be picking them up right away. They need to form part of some sort of comp and everything. So Juggernaut going to be banned out, and after that, before that, the Timbersaw from Team Papega. So it seems like Papega already know they don't want to have a heavy sort of team fight orientated lineup that they want to go against, but it seems like All or Nothing already have this planned out. We could see an Enigma coming out for them. Works well with the Luna. I'm assuming they want to build a bit more damage in the off lane. We could still see, I mean, that's why the Timbersaw would have been picked up here, right? Because he is the tanky one. He does do a bit of damage, especially in the beginning, builds up the reactive armor, and then it's annoying to try and kill him. But you could still see maybe an Underlord for the side of All or Nothing. Actually, Underlord would be very good for them with the Atrophy Aura on the Luna as well. We could still see a Vengeful Spirit, which is something that also stacks a bit of auras. It could be quite a bit of aura stack for them. Could be an early Roshan. I wouldn't be surprised if we even see something like... Well, we could still see maybe Temporal Assassin mid, but it's a bit early to speculate who's going mid and who not. But Dragon Knight, another hero that's pretty good for them. We'll definitely see some sort of support. It wouldn't surprise me if Shadow Shaman comes out, because they do need a bit of tower push. They need a bit of early game aggression. He is a bit squishy, and he does die very quickly against the Tusker and the Pongalia, though. So probably not your best pick, but then you could also argue maybe to have the Witch Doctor to counter the sort of team fight aggression or the early game aggression that they could give. I mean, the pool is just open for the second set of supports, you know. How about a good disruptor for Team Papega, though? Could make the difference. Shadow Shaman for Papega also. Earlier we played a game, and Shadow Shaman was just good against that Luna, but Grimstroke probably, arguably, the best support in the game right now, according to me, and you could quote me on that. He is just a super good hero. Laning phase, mid game, into late game, he is super phenomenal, doing a lot of damage. Once you have the link up, I think a lot of people underestimate or misplace Grimstroke, where they want him to do to just get the link off, and then you kind of want to burst onto the two heroes. but it doesn't necessarily have to be that way. It's if he can get the silence off, if he can get a double stun off with a follow-up, if he could get, you know, like the 2 paralyzing casts off with something else. Obviously, it's not going to be in this game, but anything else, like Grimstroke just does super well with that, and that is a good combo for him as well. If you could do the Grimstroke ult with the Bloodseeker ult, you have 2 people ruptured, and they cannot move or they take damage. That is insane. Bloodseeker did get an Agnum Scepter upgrade, but I'm not... I'd be very surprised if we see it this game. Abaddon being picked up for Team Pepega.
10 seconds remaining.
A very good hero pickup for them as well, but it's...
5 seconds remaining.
This probably means that Tuska's moving into the position 5. Abaddon could be in the position 5 because of the miscoil, keeping the hero alive, but then you have to assume that they're going with something a bit more squishy, or maybe even the Naga Siren in the safe lane. They could still go for the Ember Spirit in the safe lane that All or Nothing did in the previous game. Ember Spirit will probably find his sort of groove in the meta currently, where he used to be played a lot more mid. He's probably going to be played a lot more safe lane because now he's more of a physical damage builder than he is the crit or the big item builder. And that's going to be the Dragon Knight for Team Pepega. Dragon Knight could still go safe lane. If he goes safe lane, he's probably not going to be paired up with Abaddon because he does have a lot of regen himself. So this is, I think, Dragon Knight going mid. It has to be. And Slock is not there for Pepega, which it arguably would have been the best hero for them in the safe lane, especially if you have the Abaddon there to keep him alive. But now there's a bit more. It's not going to be a Wraith King. So, like, All or Nothing kind of just have to throw all the cards around and pick one of the cores that they least favor to play against themselves. Juggernaut's not there. Lifesteal is not there. Both of those heroes probably wouldn't have done too good with the Abaddon as well, because you need something that's going to scale. Are they going with Alchemist here? Alchemist is okay by himself as well. Especially if he's going up against... So this is Grimstroke, a Bloodseeker in a lane, with the Treant Protector and the Luna in the lane. That makes the most sense. However, Grimstroke does do a lot of burst damage. He's not going to be able to keep the Luna alive, which is why the Treant Protector is going to be there, doing the Leech Seed, doing the Living Armor. But the Wraith King ban is there from Team Pepega. And that was the first hero that I said it was probably not, for the good reason that he is tanky, he's bulky, he's good in the lane. He doesn't need the extra shield, but
10 seconds remaining.
maybe All or Nothing know what Team Pepega play when they give this Abaddon position 5. It's going to be the mid ban for All or Nothing. Storm Spirit's still good. Lina is still very good. Death Prophet probably the best for them because they need something that's pushing towers. If it's not the Dragon Knight, it could still be the Outworld Devourer. However, I doubt it's the Outworld Devourer. There's just a lot that works well against it. It has to do good against the Dragon Knight, which is why I was about to say it's probably just going to have to be the Death Prophet, but it's not going to be in this case. So Outworld Devourer probably, maybe, arguably Storm. I need someone to argue with me here. Maybe Storm Spirit. But it's not because of Dragon Knight. It's because of the good pickoffs he has and the good synergy he has with Grimstroke and Bloodseeker and also even the Luna, even the Treant Protector. So I'm assuming Templar Assassin as well. So Pepega definitely have to pick a different core. So assuming that it was that Wraith King, or are they just arguing whether the hero they have will be working well against the mid laners that's left for All or Nothing? It could be Razor. I mean, Razor's still good mid. Razor does well against Dragon Knight. Razor does well against a lot of heroes, but he kind of only has one target when he's sapping damage, and that is the Dragon Knight. You could also go for the Pongolier. I mean, you're just draining damage, right? It's not necessarily that you want to catch the hero that's dealing all the damage from the enemy team. It's more that you want to gain the damage for yourself. So Razor can target anyone, sap their damage, and gain a lot of damage for himself. So Razor's a very good pick for All or Nothing. If it's not that Death Prophet that's just been banned out.
Radiant team's turn to pick.
Outworld Devourer.
Huh. Am I the only one that just went... Huh. Maybe so maybe the argument for them was the Owl Devourer is the last one left that does good with the Dragonite counter pushing the lanes, doing a lot, soaking all the mana out of the Dragonite. Let's put Dragonite in the safe lane. Abaddon is there. Abaddon and Tusk can even roam. Maybe even swap the two, because then you get the pick-off potential with the Dragonite. And boom, you got a good team fight. Papega definitely, that's exactly what they were talking about in their lobby. And all or nothing, going with the sniper. So you're going to take the take aim in level 1 so you can stand a bit further away. Positioning, it should be relatively okay for them in the mid lane. But you don't want Junaid to do a lot of damage to you. And soak a bit of intel. You don't have a big mana pool anyway if you're sniper, so Remedy doesn't really care. He just has to get those last hits in, and he does have a faster attack speed than the Outwall Devourer, depending on if the Outwall Devourer is standing on the creeps, you know. But a good lineup for both teams again. I'm just worried about the Luna and the Tree and Protector mostly. Bloodseeker Grimstroke combo is there for them as well. If they can execute that properly, this could go into the favor of all or nothing. But we'll have to see what Papega brings. The Pongalia is definitely a devastating hero to play against in a lane. You really, really don't want to play against him. So we'll have to see what they bring. We'll have to see what they bring once the team fights and stuff start. So Mac is going to be on the off lane again. He did very good with the Slardar. He's arguably, you know, he does get his sort of last hits and denies. Oh, sorry, not the last hits and the denies. The farm in the lane as much as he does need it. So as much as is needed. Smoke gonna break here up top. Junaid is standing in there. They are going to be able to get a punch on him. The stun is going to be there. The Grimstroke does have that stun going up. Dashi, he doesn't have that. He does have the proc the shield now, but it will just fall. There's way too much damage. The second stun is there. Looking to go onto Junaid as well. Just going to move down. Papega is just going to move down bottom now, but all or nothing does get that first blood. The ward goes down as well, and they will get this rune. Get a very good kill on the Abaddon early. He was gonna go for the Mist Coil level 1, but had to go for the Apothic Shield, which is also it's not bad for him. It's not fine, but this Tree and Protector, that Orb of Venom is just doing a lot of damage to this Outlaw Devourer. And after the Geist, the Nature's Geist, there's a stun. They're not moving in range for this Nature's Geist to go off, and he will go out onto the Abaddon. Now the stun is there. They do have the Apothic Shield, and Helm taking a lot of damage now. They want to get the stun off. They actually want to get the Luna. Now Tusk is moving in. They're getting a lot of damage down, but the double stun is there. Dashi is dropping very low. The stun is going to be there, and they will get the kill. Sad Socks has to back off, but they will probably just trade this. That's the second time Abaddon goes down, and it does go to the Luna, which is fine for them. The Tree and Protector is moving back up. They know they have to do damage to this Luna. Luna also doesn't want to get the Lucent Beam unless they go for the pick-off. Actually just wants to get the Luna Blessing early, but not the case right now, as they do go for that pick-off now. The stun is going to be there onto Tuskar. The Geist does proc out, and he's probably going to escape here. We'll pop the Salve, so it is a regen used for him to get out. That should be all she wrote for a while. Both teams probably not going to be able to do a lot more. There is the Sentry Ward, so I wonder if all or nothing start. They do see it. That creep just gave it away, so now they know that there is a ward. Damn, just that one creep. E is still up here, the Grimstroke as well. Sad Socks down bottom lane. Kyo is level 3 already. 2 for Pangalia, so 8 and 2 on this The stun is going to be there from the Nature's guys. You're not going to be able to do a lot. The Inkswell is up, but the slow is not necessarily there for the teams. Dashy. Moving at the safe lane out will Devour. They still have that Dragonite in the mid lane. Steergaunt, he is going on him. The Apothic Shield is there. Inkswell going to be used as well. And it is just going to be a banishment. But the stun still procs. And that is going to be Junade still stunned up. Mistcoil going to be used, trying to keep him alive. He will be able to get out of there. E does use that team fight for him. He is dropping very low now. The seed is going to be used. E does have that Apothic Shield. They're looking to actually get this tree and protected. Dashi is going to be the kill down there. But the Geist is going to be used. Tree and Protector going to use a salvo on himself, and they could go for the rest of this. Actually, out will Astral Imprisonments himself. Now the Inkswell goes out again. Luna is dropping low. They wanted to get the splat, but Grimstroke just doesn't hit the Stroke of Fate in the correct direction or in the right direction as they start moving back. Assuming that they wanted to go for the team fight. Mac E just actually moving down bottom again because Mac's already at a bit of a disadvantage. They know that they don't want to give Kier a lot of farm here. In mid lane, it's 16 and 6 versus 14 and 4. Pretty even lane. Butterfly versus Remedy here. But eventually the sniper will outscale them a bit. Luna has to move back. They still have the Tree and Protector. They still have this Sentry Ward, right? But if the Tree and Protector positions himself like there, where even if they do have the Sentry Ward, they don't have a ward here. That's actually scouting out when he's moving away. They do see him now. The Inkswell's going to be the follow-up after the Nature's guys. They're looking to get Dashi again. And the Stroke of Fate was there to do a lot of damage. Now the Apothic Shield will be procced, and Junade is not having the best time. We'll use the Astral Imprisonment in order to get this Tree and Protector out. Remedy is also almost level 6. Again, the Grimstroke into a double Assassinate with a double Rapture is probably one of your best combos both teams can execute it properly. Kyo is a bit far ahead right now. They don't have the Ice Shards of the Tuskar. They only have this tag team along with the Snowball. And I say only, but I do mean it in the best way because Junade does go down again. But if they're going to get the pick-off onto the Bloodseeker, they do need to have those shards up. Bloodseeker does have the level 3 in Thirst already. So as soon as Junade or anyone else in the lane drops low, this Bloodseeker is just able to capitalize on it. Grimstroke. He wants to move down middle. E is looking to get 2 ruins for his team. The ward does come out down mid. Remedy is dropping very low. The Dragon's Breath, still 5 seconds cooldown. Now E, they do see him. The Nature's guys, come on. He will use it, will keep him in place. The seed to follow up, and now they just need... He does use the tag team though, they just need the extra stun now, but the Snowball is being used, and that is going to be Luna dropping very low, but the Inkswell does proc, and he is able to keep him alive. Junade now, the silence is up, he's trying to get out of there, but the Luna will be able to get another stun off, and that is going to be all she wrote. A perfect pickle for both teams. They actually tried to go onto the Luna, but weren't able to capitalize. Butterfly taking a lot of damage. We'll have to go for his boots next. Does want to get that Dragon's Breath onto Remedy. Could still do a lot of damage, but there we go. The living armor is there. Probably should have waited just a short while. As long as Tuskar doesn't have these Ice Shards, it's not meaning a lot for their team in terms of pick-off because they do have Melee in the off lane, Melee in the mid lane. So you have to go into the safe lane. It's probably your best bet is just to go into the safe lane. Abaddon can't proc anything either because the Curse of Avarnis is not going to be used anytime soon. So in terms of the lane setup, it seems like Pepega definitely not happy right now. But I'll tell you, once the team fights start, it'll be a whole different ball game. Mid lane, dropping very low. They do have the Dragon's Breath going out now as well, but they do see the TP. Living Armor is going to be able to go out onto Remedy. Butterfly he isn't taking a lot of damage anymore. He does have 3 levels into into his own Dragon's Blood. So Remedy dropping low. A bit too low. Luna is going to be gone on here. Junaid wants to get the intel stacks. Mist Coil are going to be used as well, but not going to be able to secure a kill just yet. There is still the Fairy Fire on the sniper. So he's just going to try and farm up the rest of this lane. Up top again, the silence is there. They do have their Apothic Shield, however, and it is a miss from the Grimstroke, Stroke of Fate. Otherwise, if the slow was there, they probably could have procced the Seed. Now, Nature's Guy's going to be used again. Newton does die to neutral creeps, which is good for him. Procs the ult there from the Pangolier, but KO does not go down. Now, the Inkswell is just going to be there, but he does proc away. Using the Swashbuckle in order to position himself away from the Inkswell. Otherwise, it probably would have been devastating for him. Bloodseeker doing a lot of damage there. They want to get this onto Remedy because he needs the health. Sad Socks is probably a sad little Grimstroke right now because he really needed that as well for his own mana, but he'll just have to go back. He is the support. And Sniper picking up the hand of Midas. 8 minutes into the game up top lane. They want to go onto this Outlaw Devourer again. The stun is going to be there. The Apothic Shield, however, as well. They did do the Astro Imprisonment onto a creep wave. Trying to steal a bit of sort of positioning for his team there. Dashi. He's not able to attack him when he's standing on this side of the trees. So as soon as he moves in, he can. But then he's just giving away the fact that they have a ward. But they did get the D ward off anyway. So it would make sense there, you know, as Keo. He is dropping low. He is in the snowball. The ult actually gets cancelled from Pangolier. Swashbuckle up in 3 seconds. Not when you're silenced, though. Sniper does rotate in. And Keo is not going to go down. Now E is being turned on. He has to start running away. Rupture is not there for him. E does just TP out. So both teams moving to get the stun off. Moving to get the initiation off, but not going to be able to get a lot off of this, or are they? No, Mac will just use the Swashbuckle again. And Treant Protector knows he just has to D-ward, and he's just looking to get his level 6. If he can get level 6, they can get 2 easy pick-offs in this lane. Dashi is probably a bit annoyed already, having to buy so many sentries, only being level 4, Outlaw Devourer being level 5. There is a level 6, almost level 6 now on the Luna. So if the stun comes out now and they start with the counter initiation, there's nothing they can do. Bloodseeker is on 62 and 18 versus the 58 and 10. Followed by the Dragonite, and then after that, the Sniper 53 and 18 in terms of lost hits and the denies. The Sniper opting to finish his boots will probably go for the Mjolnir next. It will be either Mjolnir, could argue for the Desolator against the Dragonite and the Pangolier, but I'm assuming it'll be just be the Mjolnir for him in order to get the extra damage. Maybe he goes Mask of Madness, still old school. E moves up. Sentry ward, but he was going to get scouted out anyway because of the sentry ward. Top lane, Astro Imprisonment is on the creep. He's just farming. Outlaw Devourer knows he just needs to get his items up because he's core versus core and he's sitting at 38 and 9 now, 5th on overall chart. So Keo and Butterfly trading a few blows, but the stun is there from Keo. However, the Grimstroke now, the Inkswell. Rupture is going to be used as well. He's going to get stunned up, and he's not a lot he can do. The Ice Shots does move him away, but it does cause him to take a bit of damage, and Sad Socks will be able to secure the kill there in the mid lane. So definitely not a good start here for Pepega. All or nothing. Sitting at 9 and 1. 11 minutes into the game. They are 2 kills away from having a kill every minute. Outlaw Devourer needs to reach his level 6, but after that he still doesn't have a lot of intel steal for him to be able to just right click. So it's going to be difficult for them going into a team fight. Outward Devourer will probably just have to stay back. If they can get the pick off on the Grimstroke and they can get a pick off on maybe the Tree and Protector, but Tree and Protector is the difficult one, as we've seen with the Nature's Guides, allowing you to walk through trees and not being scouted out that easily. So it's probably not the one that they're going to get. Not the one that they're going to get easily. The one that they're going to get easily should be the Grimstroke, but Grimstroke's not going to play up front. He has to position himself correctly. Dachi, almost level 6 as well. He'll probably be very relieved if he gets that borrowed time up, because that means that he won't be able to get picked off that much either. But still, proccing the borrowed time just to escape it's not efficient for the hero, but I suppose it's the best you've got. It means that they have to go on the Tusker, who's only level 3 now. He doesn't have a lot of farm, but he did do a lot in terms of the warding and de-warding for their team. So both teams actually still have their scans up. Not a lot of fortification. The shrines, I don't know at which point for these teams the shrines make a difference, because if you're a 9-1 deficit, 5k net worth, if we go into the vision they have, they can only see the items on the Outward Devourer right now. These guys can only see what this Luna has. Luna going for a magic build. It is in the off lane, so obviously it makes sense. This is nothing like I've ever seen before from a Luna. So Veil of Discord, along with the ult and the with the Agnum Scepter ult, normally just the ult. So it's probably it's obviously like a Sand King build with minus the Blink Dagger. So it's gonna be fun to watch it. I mean, I'll promise you that. Just watching the Veil go off, watching the Eclipse go off, and you still have the Grimstroke ult with the Rupture, with the Assassinate. That's interesting combo for them to go off. But for now, I guess if you're Pepega, you're in the Dire side. There's quite a lot of wards for the Radiant side. We actually just want to see this again. There's the one ward, but it's the ward that does scout out those two farming positions. And then the Tree and Protector is over here. He does have a Sentry and a ward as well. So, I mean, placing it somewhere around, I don't know, you kind of want to see this as well. So, placing it around here gives them the best option to get the pick-offs, and does give the Dire not a lot of options for farming, because as soon as you start farming, you're just going to get picked off. With the Outward Devourer, again, the ult is going to be there, but the damage not so much. So it's at this stage when Pangalia actually goes into the double javelin, right? Or do you still straight up go Mjolnir first into Basher? It does mean you're farming, and Mac does farm well on the heroes that he has played so far, but I'm not too sure what to expect from both these teams, to be honest, because Tusker needs to get the farm up as well now. But he has the ice shots, so he's going to make the difference in the team fights. Versus this level 6 Tree and Protector already, I'm not... he needed it up a lot quicker, you know, but... Seems like we're ready to go right now. Moving into laning phase. Moving out of the laning phase. So
The battle resumes.
Treant Protector placing a sentry ward to block the camp there. Oh, he actually blocked all the camps. So if they farm at once, he's actually just blocking every camp, making sure this Outward Devourer cannot catch up and farm. Sentry ward's going to be able to scout him out in movement in middle. He's not going to be able to do anything though. It's like Treant shouldn't even be there. However, he is moving up. If they can get the Luna here, they can make a bit of difference probably, but he is scattered out now. E does see him there. So it's level 5 on the Tuskar. Obviously went for the Tome of Knowledge as well. Now, moving up top, the stun is there. Not following up too much. Level 6 for Abaddon should be up as soon as this creep dies. Another stun is going to be there. That is Abaddon. Does go for the borrowed time, saying he's tired of being picked off. Sniper, Remedy, you're dropping very low. They do have the Swashbuckle going to be used. They throw in the Rolling Thunder as well. Now the Snowball is there. However, Kia is moving in as well. Remedy does not follow, and that's going to be 2 kills. Going for the side of Papega, they took way too long to kill Remedy. And that's why it's one of the things we mentioned, that having the Shards and the Snowball, yes, double tag team, but don't have the damage to pick off. If you can't even pick off the Sniper, then it means you need to go back and get damage. You need to get damage for whoever is supposed to be getting that last kill. You need damage on the Dragonite and you need damage on the OD. And neither one of them were there as well. So then you're not going to be able to pick off this this Sniper. I mean, you had the Swashbuckle, you had the roll. Did they get a lucky shot proc? Not too sure. But bottom tier 2 is actually falling, and they just pressuring. They're just going. Keo saying, you know, we can make this a short game. We could go all liquid in this 15 minutes.
Radiant structures have been snow fortified. Dire's bottom tower.
Just chipping away at a tier 3 tower. Just throw the blood right down. And they start moving back only. Now the rest of the team moving back for the side of Papega. E is very low, but this does mean Bloodseeker is just be able to TP up top, so he's going to get the rest of his farm. He is going to look to get that Basher up early. No, Dashy, you're going to be caught again. The Inkswell is there, the Perfect Shield to follow up. Borrow time will be procced. He is going to be able to move out. The Ice Shot is actually going to keep him from coming back into this fight. Now that Inkswell is going to be there to follow up. They actually did get the Soulbound off. They got one stun. It wasn't a lot for them. Assassinate going to be used there onto Dashi. They only get the one pick off, but it's enough for them to push further. However, I just say that. And Butterfly, you're way out of position. The Inkswell is going to be there. The Mist Coil, the Apothic Shield, he does back off. So Abaddon definitely making sure he can keep his team alive. He does proc Thirst though. That does mean that the OD is not able to go on to or do anything against this Bloodseeker. OD? Okay, he's just TPing up. He's fine. He's fine, guys. He's fine. He's farming up now, but there's a lot of sentries. They can scout out this sentry, as they did that one. We'll probably see it now. Now? You don't see the ward? Blocking the vision, making sure that they just can't get any farm. So all or nothing. Just saying they want to dominate the game. And they don't want to give them anything to come back off of. They do scout out the Luna. They're only farming up this jungle now. Dire. Alright, the ward does get taken out. Luna is farming this alone though. Still a long ways away from getting that Magnum Scepter for herself, which will make the ultimate a bit mobile. Dashi. He knows that they can't see him, but okay, that's also a dire ward. So, but you don't have the stun, my friend. That's the bad thing about having Abaddon as a support. He doesn't have the stun. He doesn't have the pick-off setup. He doesn't have the setup for even catching anyone off guard as they moved back there. I mean, just forced to move back. So Mjolnir is up for the Bloodseeker. He is going to try and farm up a lot more. And then Tusker, a short whiles away from actually getting his level 6. And hopefully he'll be doing a lot more. They just scout him out, walking up there. Placing the ward, moving in middle. And now they're giving it away. They saw him and the Outward Devourer he just stayed. How did they not move in? No borrowed time. Oh, sorry, no Apothic Shield, no Mist Coil. Rapture is going to be used on Butterfly. Grimstroke, he wants to actually link people with the Soulbind. He could have used Soulbind there, it would have been interesting. The Shard going to be able to block them off, and that's going to be 2 kills, 2 very core kills for the side of Pepega. So all or nothing. It's probably going Roshan after this. Or they're just pressuring a tower. Luna's saying, I've had enough. I'm not building Manta. Not building Sanjin Yasha. Not building Morbid Masks. I'm not building anything like that. I just want to go for these towers. I want to get the pick off. So I want to actually try out. I want to see the Veil of Discord with the Eclipse being used. Actually, I want to see it with the Agnum Scepter as well. Mac. Trying to be a bit more efficient and moving into the Radiant side to push down that tier 2 tower. The side of AON is moving up to take down the tier 2 tower for themselves up top. Would be a good enough trade for them. But you're not going to take it up as fast as AON does. So if AON can get the tower and TP back, Luna is moving in. So that does mean Mac is just going to have to move back.
Are those cracks in Dire's top tower?
They can't contest this.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Outward Devourer did need to finish up the 4-star first, but now, Nature's Guys, if he had used it, there's too many wards around. They're going to see everything. And now they have to move back. Now, still, the Nature's Geist is going to go off. He will move into sentry range now, but he just has a bit extra movement speed. The stun is going to be there. Overgrowth will surely follow right away. The 4-star was used, but the Rupture is also there. And the Snowball, the tag team is there, but they do have the Soulbind now coming out. The proc is going to be there from the Rolling Boulder for the Pangolier. The Eclipse comes out. The Sanity's Eclipse comes out, not the normal Eclipse from Luna. The Sanity's Eclipse does drop as well. Throwing down a lot of ultis and only getting the Bloodseeker. However, I say only. Did give them a lot of gold. Not too much though. But their XP was fine. For their side at least. This does mean that they get they don't get enough though, but they do get a bit of balance again. Mac we'll just have to use the Swashbuckle to get away. Rolling Thunder, not going to be enough for them. Ruins up for both teams, and it is going to be 3 going in the favor of AON and 2 going in the favor of Pepega. So, Tree and Protector, he wants to still de-ward this. However, they do see it. Odin has to move back. There's 5 intel steal for a while. Doesn't scout out that ward because they don't have the. They will scout it out. They have to see it. Just opting not to de-ward it, I assume. Going for the Roshan now, but E is actually going to see them move up on this Invis. They could take a bit of damage there. The Ice Shards is going to go out. Remedy dropping very low, but the Bloodseeker is there in front. Will probably just pick it up for himself. They don't need it on the Luna. They probably need it on Remedy though. Yeah, they will. You have the Overgrowth already up on the Tree and Protector again. You have good setup there. You have the follow-up from the Bloodseeker. I actually want to see a good Soulbind with Rupture as well, but it just hasn't played out that way because the side of Pepega have positioned themselves so well. They want to keep this. They want to keep this alive, actually, because they want to push the tower with the creep wave, and they want to make sure to get the damage. Just 2 heroes blocking 1 catapult. Going to use the living armor on it again, most likely. Yeah, they will. They have to keep it alive. It's extra damage going out onto the tower. Bloodrite is there. They do have the Outworld going to be used on the creep again.
I guess Radiant fortified
Sniper. Does proc the shrapnel now. Kyo is taking a lot of the damage from the tower. However, the catapult will drop now. It was the only thing that they had to keep to keep them hitting the tower. So they did play it very well from the side of AON. Junaid. It's in the middle there. Ice Shot's going to go. It actually does get off onto the Luna. The stun going to be out. Wants to proc out the Eclipse. Eclipse going to be used. It is going to do a lot of damage for them. The Overgrowth is not going to be able to save him, however. So Luna does fall. Dashi, the ult is going to be procced now, but 2 heroes down. The Dragon Knight is down. You also have the Tusker down. Junaid dropping very low. Will use the Astro Imprisonment. There is going to be the mega kill, as Dashi also does go down. Triple kill going out in favor of Remedy. Kyo deciding he's not going to chase that. He couldn't have chased that anyway. There was the forced off as well. So, Swashbuckle going to be there. Rolling Thunder still on the 30-second cooldown. And this is just the first set of racks. It's not a lot you can do when you're only defending against 3 heroes. Tusker only coming back now. He was the first wonderful. Second wonderful, actually. Junaid moving up. Now they are able to get 2 into the Sanity's Eclipse with the Shards combo, and that's going to be huge for them. They get the double kill, and it goes in the favor of Junaid. Now going to be able to do a lot of damage onto Remedy. Now they will just take down this Remedy is still standing still, but tag team going to be used as well, and that is going to be Remedy going down again. Wanted to get the kill onto Junaid, but just wasn't able to. So they take down the Aegis, they take down the Sniper twice, and that was huge for them. Just the golden XP swing alone, but the amount of damage that the Sanity's Eclipse did. Catching out both heroes. AON will definitely not just pressure the top lane for free, or any of the other lanes for free. And they know that now. They know that they need to get some sort of... However, they do have the Agnum Scepter up on the Luna now, but they will still have to get the good BKBs, a good set of BKBs on their team. And the same goes for the side of Pepega. Opting to go BKB now is this Dragon Knight. Outworld finishing up the BKB for himself. If he could just do BKB and just right-click the Tree and Protector or the Grimstroke, it sort of sets them up to win the fight. Rolling Thunder going to be used here by Pangolier as TP out. Here's his own Yule Scepter. It seems like both teams just need a bit more defense when they're fighting. The runes are going to be up. There's the 25-minute runes already. Sad Socks. Going for the Heaven's Halberd on him. If they can do the Heaven's Halberd onto the Outworld Devourer. Now. Come on, the setup has to be there. No, the Force stuff is so very well played there for the side of Pepega, able to get out of that initial team fight. Outworld Devourer now. He's close to the BKB. If he gets the BKB, certainly they just go and try and pick off a fight. It's not going to be that easy, but this is where the side of AON start figuring out, oh, we actually need to start getting those pick-offs, getting the combos off. There's going to be a lot of damage going out onto Junaid. Rupture was used, but he will just fall. Kyo going to get the farm. He does have the Sanj and Yasha. They're pressuring bottom tower just with the catapult. Just with the catapult and the sniper. Wow. Alright, Kyo joining the fight again. He is with his team. They know that they need to get a pick off first. The catapult is there. Stun going to be thrown out on June just to keep them back. Shrapnel going to be used in order to scout out this ranged barracks, because if they can get the creep wave in there, Sniper can just start right-clicking it. But you need the Soulbind to land perfectly on this Grimstroke in order to make sure you're doing a lot more of damage. A lot more damage with the Rupture, a lot more damage with the Stun, a lot more damage with the Assassinate. I don't even know if you go directly into the Assassinate. They will use the Ice Shards. It does miss, however. And even if they got it, there's no Pangolier. Pangolier can't move in this small circle because he'll be bouncing and bouncing the whole time. So, not too sure if they could get a pick off there. Dragonite, however, he does have a cool Agnum Scepter form now. With the Black Dragon, I don't know if everyone has seen it, but it's pretty cool. It's also very freaking tanky. So, Vanguard going to be picked up here for Pangolier. Is he just going for the Crimson Guard? Yes, he is. If he gets the Crimson Guard, it means that they could sort of counter-initiate on a team fight. Luna will just get the stun off, does move back. The Agnum Scepter is there, now going for the Kaya and Yasha. Interesting for Luna, going from all the way from a safe lane core position to a support, and now we see her in an off lane build. So definitely a very versatile hero. If we have a look at the talents, actually, still the same on the 400 cast range. The level 15 is gonna be the Lucent Beam cooldown. Not too sure though. They do get a lot of damage here onto Butterfly. But he has the stun on himself. We'll use the Dragon's Breath as well. Trying to proc out the Dragon Fall maybe. But no, Luna, you're not going to get a lot. They will get the top tower for this though. They will pop the BKB onto Kyo. The Rupture's going to be there. And the Force Staff, he Force Staffs himself away. We'll use the Astral Imprisonment now. But Kyo, he does have that Blood Right. And the BKB is getting proc for Junade now. They want to do a lot of damage on Kyo, but he's doing all the damage he can onto them. Butterfly now, the only one left. The Assassinate's going to go on them as well. Grimstroke even still has the ult.
Dire's top barracks have fallen. Dire might have to say goodbye to their top barracks. Dire's top barracks have fallen.
And that is going to be the top barracks taken. You've only lost the Luna. There's 3 heroes down. A BK buyback. Well, BKBs as well used. 20k net worth 30 minutes into the game. And it seems like AON just sort of have this in the bag. This is Mega Creeps. You have an Outwall Devourer, you have a Pangolier with a Maelstrom. Am I reaching? I'm reaching. I'm just reaching now. There's no way they can come back. The Dragon's Breath, the Radiance, it makes sense, but you don't have the damage to take out the Kyo that's in your base, the Remedy that's standing down there. This Treant Protector's there to protect them even still. So Sean's gonna come out, Nature's Guy's gonna be used. They know that they can't see him because they just want him to move closer. Kyo, the Rupture is gonna be there now. Gonna be able to pop the BKB, is moving up onto E. However, that Walrus Punch is there. Now the Overgrowth gonna be used to proc the BKB from the Outwall Devourer. He does get a lot of right click on this Treant Protector. He will fall down. Swashbuckler going to be used as well. Kyo doing a lot of damage on the Dragonite. The Dragonite has his own BKB, and that is going to be a kill onto the Sniper. Is going to be able to Yule Scepter. He doesn't Yule Scepter himself though, but is going to be able to get the disarm onto the Pangolier. Now they get the kill. E is moving back in. Luna did use the buyback. Hasn't used the ult yet, but the ult is going to be there now. They're doing a lot of damage. Butterfly, you need to get out of there, but he's all the way out of position. Not going to be able to do much. Dashi, they will proc the borrowed time. Yeah, wants to move in front of him in order to get the kill, but it is going to be the Yule Scepter used. So they do have the Yule Scepter as soon as one of them's ruptured up. And GG is going to be called. Junade. AON actually just playing this perfectly with their positioning and the execution of their team fight. Game 1 it went from pickoffs, game 2 all the way to team fight. AON definitely establishing themselves as a team to look out for in the rest of the tournament. So 2-0 victory for all or nothing. We want to thank you guys for tuning in. This is the AON League. This is only the group stages. There's a whole lot more to come every day of this week. So stay tuned. And we'll see you guys then. Enjoy.